Main Street in Folkston, just a handful of storefronts and only 13,000 people who live here. But somehow this community has become caught in the middle of a political firestorm because just 3 miles down the road is an area that's set to become the largest ICE facility in the entire country. There's a heavy police presence now. I'm going to have my photographer follow me so you can take a look. We're at the intersection of Waters and 56 and all down 56th Street here. Multiple police cars in both directions. If we can turn the camera around to the other side, you can see the street is lined with police cars. There are multiple people who say they were inside or they were just pulling up to the scene right when those shots rang out here in this area. Okay, yeah, we'll walk and talk. That's fine. We're being told by SPD that we have to move. I am going to swing that camera around, though, this way so you can see this is the parking garage area where witnesses tell us that they evacuated. It's being put on by a group called 50501. They say they're an organization that aims to uphold the Constitution of the United States. I'm going to give you a little bit of a look at the crowd here. You can see over a dozen people gathered here with signs, chanting. I spoke to a couple neighbors, people who live nearby, and they told us that at first when this happened right around 9 o'clock last night, they were thinking it was a fallen tree, a car backfired, and then it turned out to be this shocking scene. So to be dramatic, but I will tell you, when I was on the dock over here walking up, I really did think I was about to start blowing away because that wind is really heavy, and you'll be able to see that out here on the water. Alleyway just outside Octane Bar around the corner here is where Tristan Manigault was shot last summer. Now, there was a person of interest identified in this case, but ultimately no one was charged. Now that the case has been officially closed, we're going to show you some exclusive body cam video from that night that you're only going to see on WSAV. As for Tristan's friends and family, though, they say they're not going to stop fighting for justice.
Happened in the early morning hours of August 30th. Crystal Stanley got a call that shattered her world.
I actually felt that pain in the exact one of the spots that he got shot, which was like just me, and I couldn't sleep, and I was just sitting up. And then when I did receive that call, I was like, oh my gosh, like I could feel it, like as if I could feel the pain that he was going through while he was going through it.
Tristan Manigault was shot in the alley outside of Octane Bar after he was involved in a fight with several other people and someone who was identified as a person of interest, according to police reports obtained by WSAV. Manigault later died. His family and others who were interviewed the night of the shooting say he was trying to break up the fight.
It didn't hit me really until his funeral, when I was the one that had to go and make sure he looked presentable in his dress blues. And then to find out that he died doing what Marines do. And I was proud of him.
The person of interest was traced back to the crime scene based on a hat that was left behind, and several witness statements identify that person as the shooter. However, after reviewing the evidence in the case, a Chatham County grand jury did not believe there was enough evidence to charge anyone.
Anybody who had come into contact with him, 9 times out of 10, it was at his funeral. And literally, if you went to every single person at the funeral, they would have either told you, oh my gosh, Tristan saved my life. Oh my gosh, Tristan brought me out this dark place. Tristan helped me. Like, one call, Tristan was there. And like, he impacted everybody's lives that he came. It didn't matter who, like, that's just the kind of person he was.
Manigault's family members identified the person of interest to WSAV, and through our research, we found that the person of interest does have a record as a felon with the Georgia Department of Corrections.
A guy who is a felon who claimed self-defense and is now currently in jail for a bunch of other stuff, but was released. So, like she said, where's the disconnect? Where's the problem? Like, why was this guy allowed to go back out on the streets? Why didn't the grand jury do anything? And we're kind of trying to figure out what are our next steps. Who do we need to talk to?
You may remember that we told you Octane Bar lost their liquor license after the shooting last year, but it has since been reinstated as of earlier this year. You can see very lively scene downtown here at Octane, as well as some other surrounding bars tonight. Reporting in Savannah, Christine Queally, WSAV News 3. Tina, so Thunderbolt Bridge, Lazaretto Creek Bridge, Islands Expressway, all of those have been closed off as of this moment. That's according to the Chatham Emergency Management Agency. You can see over here behind me police blocking off the Thunderbolt Bridge here, completely impassable. They say only by state vehicles. And if you look to my other side here, I'm going to step out of the frame. You're going to be able to see there's a line of cars of people, many of them who say they're trying to get on the islands, that live on the island, who can't get past. Now, what we're going to do is show you some video from earlier of people who have been driving around in the area, Thunderbolt Island, Savannah area, where there's been a decent amount of sleet coming down for the last few hours. There aren't too many people braving the roads tonight because the conditions are slippery, but what we're getting from SEMA, it looks like some of that is already turning to ice, like here at the Thunderbolt Bridge, where SEMA says it was closed down because it was too icy. We did speak to some people who did decide to brave the roads earlier, though, and we'll have you take a listen to what they had to say now. So as you can see, well, some people were happy about the weather, others definitely not. Like many of these people here who are trying to get home, say they might have to sleep in their car with their animals. We spoke to some of them a few minutes ago, and we'll have that full interview and that content for you in our morning show. So please be sure to tune in with us, but I'll send it back to you guys for now. Reporting on Thunderbolt, Christine Queally, WSAV News 3. Violence comes in many forms, including incidents that aren't even necessarily targeted at one person, but can still be deadly, and it can happen anywhere. Three magazines worth of gunfire shot into the air early in the morning on New Year's Day. That's according to one neighbor who caught it all on his doorbell camera. Mike Arcangelo says he believed it to be celebratory gunfire, but that didn't make it any less dangerous.
All of a sudden we heard a dozen rounds at least right at midnight, about a minute pause, and then the same thing again, minute pause, same thing again. And yeah, I mean, just get down was what was on our mind.
In Arcangelo's case, the title of the police report was listed as weapon firing, but the Savannah Police Department says if someone discharges a weapon and a person happens to be hit, you could be charged with aggravated assault. That same night,
when the clock hit 12, the window just exploded. I open up the door to my room, I look down, and there's just glass shards all over the floor. I look around, and then I see on the banister next to the staircase, there's a small indentation. And immediately I picked up that it was a bullet.
It was terrifying. When my son came downstairs shortly after the bullet had entered our home, and I just thought, if you had come down just maybe a minute earlier, you may have been hit.
According to the police report that was filed for this incident, it was, quote, believed to be from a random New Year's Eve gunfire, which plagues Savannah. Patrick Wilver is a friend of Arcangelo who also lives downtown. He says the issues in that area tend to go on even beyond holidays.
New Year's, 4th of July, I don't even go outside anymore because of all the gunfire that you hear. It seems to be once a week where I hear somebody dump a magazine, just, you know, whether they're shooting into the air or shooting at somebody.
SPD reminding people that simply what goes up must come down. Reporting in Savannah, Christine Queally, WSAV News 3, on your side. Today I spoke to all kinds of content creators about what a possible TikTok ban could mean for them and their careers. Take a look. As the situation stands, TikTok could very well be banned in the U.S. in less than a week if TikTok's China-based parent company ByteDance doesn't agree to sell the app to an American company.
It's what I've built over time. You know, I would keep going till the end, but it feels really weird knowing like in a couple of weeks, like all of it could be gone.
I feel like it's created a comfort zone for a lot of people to share their daily life, to share their tips, to help people.
The sense of community many say they've built potentially lost along with the app, a loss those affected believe will ripple out.
To a lot of people that don't make content seriously, it's like, oh, it's just a silly little app. It's like this is people's livelihoods. This is a way for people to support themselves.
People that have small businesses have been creating, you know, content and pushing it out there, creating their own communities, right? And that's going to affect them because TikTok is going to be shut down. So if that was their main platform that they would post on, where they're going to post now, or where is that community going to go?
A question many people have been asking since the possibility of a ban became real.
People usually like pick one or the other they like focus on, and so a lot of people that are solely focused on TikTok, I feel like it's going to affect them a lot.
I tried with other apps, I tried with Instagram, it's just not the same. My roots are just so deep there, and it feels so shocking to just have that go away all of a sudden.
Still, those we spoke with say there are several potential replacement apps being discussed, the intention to move forward.
Local community, I feel like we all are very close and we all help each other out through this hard circumstance and this ban. There will be a lot of support to each other coming out from this, so I do think that it's going to be a positive change.
Now, whether the ban does go into effect or not depends entirely on whether the Supreme Court decides to uphold the new law or not. Reporting in Savannah, Christine Queally, WSAV News 3, on your side.